Course podcast with our host, Julie Riga. Julie, how are you? And you know what? This is an amazing guest we have today. I know you're excited.
I'm so excited, and I'm excited to be here with you again, Neil.
And our guest today, Stephen Hoffman, and he is of Growing Peace. And you're installing hydroponic towers. We're going to learn a lot about that. So I'm just going to pass it on to Julie, and Julie's going to ask some questions.
Yeah, Steve, so thank you for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about your journey and why you decided to do this.
Yeah, sure. It all really started back in the summer of 2019 when I visited an organization in Israel called Sindiana of Galilee. Their mission was super interesting. They were trying to create peace between the Jewish and Arab communities in Israel by engaging women from each community in different sorts of activities, hoping that they would collaborate with one another and create peaceful coexistence. And so I found their mission particularly interesting. So interesting, in fact, I created a documentary film called Growing Peace in the Middle East a year later during the summer of 2020 during COVID. And that highlighted Sindiana's efforts, but also a new project that they had called the Hydroponics Project, where they would install hydroponic systems in the homes of Jewish and Arab women to get them to collaborate with one another via an online platform. So they could share tips, share pictures, say, hey, I'm growing basil. Here are a couple tips you can use if you want to do the same thing to create peace between Jewish and Arab women in Israel. So once I made that film, I wanted to do my own hydroponics project. And I've been installing hydroponic systems with my organization ever since. And so far, we have six hydroponic systems installed, one in Israel, and then three scattered throughout food pantries and community centers in New York.
I find this
Yeah,
so
yeah,
amazing. At 16, he's doing this, or younger than 16. Where do you get this motivation at such a young age? And I'm blown away by the simple fact is we thought just the hydroponic was the thing, but no, I did a documentary film at how old, and now you're going ahead and doing and really working on world peace in so many ways. How did what gave you this motivation to do these things?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I really got interested in hydroponics when I visited Sindiana. That's where I learned about the technology, and I've been really captivated by it ever since. And my motivation for doing these projects is because I really just want to help people and do my own little part to help food insecurity, which is a major issue in New York City, and also help alleviate climate change because hydroponics is a very sustainable method of agriculture.
Okay, go.
How do you get all of the mechanisms to where you need to get them to? Like, how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you get the hydroponic towers to the locations? Like, who supplies all of that for you?
Oh yeah, sure. We do our own grant raising and funding. So we apply for grants and then we fund our own projects.
Wow.
And then well, sometimes we actually have partner organizations to help fund our projects. And then so we contact the company that we use called Green Food Solutions. They are our hydroponics supplier. So they send us a proposal. We do a site visit to see the space that we want to install the system in. And then they send us a proposal of how many towers we can fit. And then we can edit or modify the proposal based off of what the needs of the organization that we're working with is. And then they order all the parts through our funding, and then we get them shipped. We do an installation day, and then sometimes we even do a training day to train community members on how to maintain the systems.
I mean, this is unreal. I can't, I'm thinking about this. So for really someone like me I've heard of it, but kind of define how the hydroponic and basically going into all how it works, like the scientific way in a fourth grade level, not a advanced level, so that we can understand what's done once it goes in to a facility.
Okay, yeah, so sure. Basically hydroponics in traditional farming, you have the seeds and you plant them in soil, and the soil is what provides the majority of the nutrients that the plants need to grow to the plants. But instead, in hydroponic farming, we can basically extract we can basically take all the nutrients that you would regularly find in soil, and we can fill those nutrients into water, into basically a big water tank. And then we can pass that nutrient-rich water through the roots of the plants in order to give the plants what they need to grow. And because of this, we can have a bunch of different configurations. The configuration that we use is like a cylindrical tower where you have a tank of water at the bottom. It gets pumped up to the top and then it trickles down through the roots of the plants. And the plants are held basically up in the air in the tower, while the roots are inside of the tower to make sure the water goes through. And so these hydroponics configurations actually have a bunch of different benefits. First of all, since you're able to grow vertically, you can actually save a lot more space, which makes hydroponics the ideal agricultural or farming system for urban spaces where you don't have access to a huge plain of land to be able to grow your food. Also, it can grow at 2 to 3 times the rate of traditional farming. And since you can also grow inside, you can grow plants even through the winter. So we can also, because we're growing inside as well, we don't have to use any pesticides, herbicides, or any other chemicals because we don't have to worry about bugs. So, I mean, those are just a couple benefits of hydroponics, but they're overall a much more sustainable technology to grow produce.
All right, I have a follow-up question. How do I get one in my house? Can I do that?
Yeah, so I mean, there are a bunch of services that you can use. You can order one off of Amazon. The towers that we use are a little bit larger. They're about anywhere from like 5 to 8 feet tall. But there are like a bunch of like mini hydroponic systems that work in a similar way. They're like these little boxes with a light on top. But yeah, you can order one for maybe a couple $100 on Amazon or maybe less. Yeah.
Super
Do you see
interesting.
do you see that this system can be used in space at one point as well to grow sustainable types
Outer
of
space.
yeah, yeah, outer space.
Oh, wow, that's a very interesting question. I think so. Yeah, I mean, because you would just need a supply of nutrients. You don't need any sunlight because the towers have lights that hang off of them, or you could just use any configuration of lights that you like. And you would just need a good supply of water in space, which I'm sure that they have, and then the nutrients. But yeah, I think you could definitely create like a self-sustaining farm in space. Which is
I've heard about that and somebody's doing that. I would do a Google search to see if you can collaborate with those people or do it yourself and contact either Elon or Jeff Bezos and
yeah.
say, hey, I have an idea that would be a really good thing. And being your age, they'll want you to be on as a poster of that. So that's the interesting thing. When you have an interesting story, you never know. Go ahead, Julie, the next question.
Stephen, tell us a little bit about your life goals. What's next for you?
Oh man, that's a really interesting question. Obviously, when it comes to growing peace, I really want to continue expanding our reach and reach more people, alleviate more food insecurity, hopefully outside of just New York, maybe expand to different states within the US and maybe even different countries as we have with Israel. But I'm also hoping to you have like I'm a rising junior in high school and hopefully I'm going to be going to college sometime soon. And so that brings up the question, like I'm not going to be able to, or currently I'm volunteering at all of my hydroponic systems. I may be going to college in a different state somewhere. I'm not going to be able to be at all of my systems all the time. So I'm really hoping to set up a board of directors that can help that can help maintain and continue to grow Growing Peace, and help manage current and future projects. And as far as my life goals, like I said, I want to go to college. Maybe I'll study something related to sustainable agriculture. I'm also interested in filmmaking since I made my documentary. But yeah.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. And basically, for your age and how focused you are, it's amazing. And so you'll probably be running it, and then you'll be looking at people. You'll probably get through college in less than 4 years. It sounds like your work ethic.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it is. But
There was interesting potential client of mine. She already published a book, two books or two, three books, and she's looking to do a movie as well based on her book. I've been working with her. She's turned 18. She's going to college and she is going to graduate in 1 year. It's crazy. So you two
How
would
is
be
that even possible?
exactly because she did all of her credits in high school.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
she basically,
sorry. Oh, you continue.
no, you go.
No, it just my school. I wish I could do that, but my school actually does not offer like credits to that you can use in college. Unfortunately, I wish I could.
Well,
but-
take your time, Stephen. You have a long, like life is long. Enjoy yourself. Go to college, and
But you study these people, Julie, that end up being the next Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerbergs. They're him. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go. And what you're doing in sustainability is amazing. Where can people connect with you and stuff? Best place.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you want like the primary place where you can get information about us, you can just go to our website, which is growingpeaceinc.org. That will have all updated information on all of our current projects, our story, our mission, our strategy. If you want to donate, it'll have a link there as well, and then all of our social media as well. So I'd probably just go to our website, growingpeaceinc.org.
All right. We're going to let Julie have her last question. She always asks on the Stay On Course podcast. I'm controlling this and simulcasting this, but she has a question she asks every guest.
Stephen, I ask all of my guests, what is your favorite food?
Oh man. Oh, can I just choose one? Maybe a nice like penne alla vodka. Kind of vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice Italian dish.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right.
Stephen, for
We
being a
appreciate
guest
it.
today.
That was
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thanks again. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the Stay